Yeah, that's me. Steve. Just Steve, thank you very much. My human has this annoying habit of giving our kind ridiculous name. My sister, Isabella. The human calls her Izzy for short, but she might as well be named Ungodly Muscle-Bound White Dog, for all she knows. She's deaf as all get out. Izzy's okay. She mostly sleeps and shoots the human baby blues until she's swimming in treats. Respect where respect's due. Her human manipulation game is top-notch. And that monstrous chaos machine? That's Henry Wellington Higginbotham. The human calls him many things. Jerk. You son of a bitch. She says exasperating a lot when it's about Henry. Me? I barely tolerate his existence. What my human doesn't know is that while I look like an old wheezy potato sack with legs, that's just my cover. I'm actually a detective. I've cracked some of the world's biggest mysteries. You know that secret sauce on the Big Mac? Izzy and I snagged one once when the human looked away. I used my raw cuteness to distract her. Izzy did the heist. Turns out, it's just friggin' salad dressing. Disappointing. And that's just the tip of the iceberg lettuce of the mysteries I've cracked. Most I can't discuss. Detective-client privilege, you know. But I'll tell you about this one. A case of murder. Well, a murder of meat sticks. Okay, fine. A theft of meat sticks. But if you ask me, I could murder a meat stick right now. Meat sticks? Where was I? Right. The case I call Sleeping Dogs Lie. I woke up with a snort and a snuffle. Not the most dignified way to start a case, but dignity's overrated when your nose is this squishy. The world doesn't wait for you to be charming. It waits for you to sniff it out. Outside my office window, the neon sign flickered like an old man's eyelid. Detective Steve. It was supposed to impress clients. Mostly it just attracted moths and bad luck. Speaking of bad luck, that's when she walked in. Or, more accurately, slinked in on velvet paws, tail twitching like she owned the joint. Fiona. Black cat from the neighborhood. But the wrong side of the neighborhood tracks, if you know what I mean. Trouble on four legs and a purr you could drown in if you weren't careful.
Detective Steve, I need your help. My meat sticks. They're gone. Stolen. Banished into the night.
A missing meat sticks case. Just what I needed to ruin my nap schedule. I gave her my best weary eye and sighed. The things I do for treats. Meat sticks? What's this world coming to? Is nothing sacred anymore? I guess it's up to one dog to save the world from evil. And that dog is me.
Well, that was probably needlessly dramatic. But thanks, I guess.
Before I inspected the scene of the crime, I had to take care of some personal business. Even grizzled gumshoes like me have needs from time to time. Now I had a decision to make. Do I take Izzy with me? On the one hand, she's 80 pounds of pure muscle, a genuine brute. On the other hand, she's still a dame, and dames have a way of cramping my style. What? Are you crazy? She's a friggin' boxer. Of course I'm bringing her. Yeah, I'll let the old girl come along. She idolizes me anyway. Might as well let her watch your big bro in action.
Can I come? Can I please? Please? Can I?
Lord help us. Are you out of your mind? Did you even listen to my preface? The kid's a walking, howling disaster. Not gonna happen. Of course I'm not. Glad to know you were paying attention when I introduced that jackass. With that settled, as Izzy and I made our way to Fiona's house, I ran through the possible culprits who'd been home when the meat sticks disappeared.
There's the boy, a human. He was home, but he couldn't have done it. He adores me. He practically worships me. He never steal my meat sticks. Then there's Bandit. If I were a betting feline, my money would be on him. I don't know what the boy sees in that mangy thief. He smells terrible. And his name is Bandit. It's practically a confession. Oh, then there's Sonny. He thinks he's hot stuff because he talks to the humans. But I doubt he swiped the meat sticks. He's only got eyes for crackers. Plus, he has a literal bird brain. The only other one home was Seamus, the dog. If Bandit didn't do it, Seamus did.
I had to keep my wits sharp with this crew. Good thing I've got wits to spare. And movie star good looks. It's a gift and a curse. So Izzy and I made our way to Fiona's house.
Well, it took you long enough. Who's this thug?
That's my sister, Isabella. Izzy to those who know her. Don't bother trying to talk to her, she's deaf. We have ways of communicating with each other.
Okay. Well, where do you want to start?
Why don't we start with this rodent of yours?
Bandit! He's not my rodent. If I had my way, he'd be my lunch. This way. I give you the rodent.
Squeak, squeak.
Nonverbal?
No, he's just playing dumb. Well, dumber at least.
Oh, you shut up.
See?
Hello. Bandit? Is that what they call you?
Who wants to know?
Me, that's who. I'm Detective Steve, and I'm here about some missing meat sticks. Something tells me a rat like you knows something about them.
First of all, I'm a gerbil. I'm a Rhinus ungulatus, to be exact. And I don't know nothing about no meat sticks.
I could tell that little mousy thing was hiding something. The question was, how was I gonna get him to spill the beans? I mean, spill the meat sticks. Hey, little buddy. It's just me. You can call me Uncle Stevie. I can tell there's something you want to get off your little hairy chest.
Nope, I'm good. Thanks.
Just tell us what we want to know. Everything will be fine. You won't be in any trouble.
Screw you, old man. I ain't a snitch.
Why, you little sewer rat. Hey, little buddy. I want to help you. I really do. And you want me to help you. Because you don't want me to get my associate here involved. Izzy has a bit of a temper.
Yeek.
Yeah, she's a bit of a galoot. But me, deep down, I'm a softie, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt, so why don't you tell me what I want to know?
I didn't take 'em! I didn't! You can't prove nothing! You got nothing! I'm innocent until proven snackless! Eek! My heart! My heart!
Oh, for the love of kibble. He's playing dead.
Dead or not, he still reeks of guilt, and just reeks in general.
Fine. Call it. Let's reset. Maybe we need a new angle. All right, Squeak Toy. New plan. Good cops on vacation. Bad cops in charge. And this here, she's worse cop. Pray she didn't skip breakfast.
Beep.
Listen close, rodent. You tell me who lifted the meat sticks, or my associate here is gonna do a thorough structural inspection of your cage. With her teeth.
You can't eat a... Oh, God. Oh, God.
Try me. Try her. She's eaten worse. Remember the squeaky donut, Izzy? Talk.
Fine. I didn't take them, but I know who did. It was the human boy. They are in one of the drawers in his desk. But don't tell him I told ya. He brings me a whole tub of strawberries every week.
My human adores me. He'd never.
We'd tracked the meat sticks to the boy's desk drawer. Now came the tricky part. Opposable thumbs. We had none.
Stand aside, peasants. Watch a master at work.
She hooked a claw in the drawer handle. A delicate tug. Nothing. Another. Rattle. A growl. Then, furious scratching. The drawer mocked her. No dice. You can't count on a cat to do a dog's work. And let's be honest, Izzy's great and all, but she's all muscle, no finesse. Let's see what brawn and detective cunning can do. I squared up, gave the desk my best shoulder. Wham! The desk gave me a headache in return. Also, no dice. She reared up, massive paws thudding against the drawer face. One push, two, creak, crack, pop. Drawer open. Victory? Maybe. Inside, not fancy meat sticks, just cheap human Slim Jims. I stuck my snout in, sniffed, snorted. Then I stared at Izzy, then Fiona. Who in their right mind puts some sad, flavorless, wrappy thing around a perfectly good meat stick? Humans are weird. Now we were back to square one. It was time to get a parrot to squawk. Bandit squealed. The drawer squeaked. Izzy cracked it open with brute force, but all we got was a box of stale Slim Jims and more questions. So now, we were stuck with the only other witness, Sonny. A parrot with a beak sharper than my migraines.
We should interrogate that mangy mutt Seamus next.
Don't be ridiculous. We canines live by a code of honor. I don't expect a cat to understand. Lead us to this parrot. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Here he is. Sir Squawks-a-lot.
Well, 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 if it isn't the discount Scooby-Doo and his two goons, come to interrogate me, gumshoe.
Cut the crap, Feathers. I know you saw what happened to the meat sticks. Spill.
Spill? I don't spill. I broadcast, mutt. And while we're at it, I'll bet with a nose like that you snore like a dying lawnmower.
Hush, you overgrown pigeon. Tell Detective Steve what you know.
Make me, furball. Maybe I'll talk if you pay the toll. Bring tribute.
Sonny, A loudmouth with a taste for crackers, attention, and watching me lose my last brain cell. Time to decide how to handle this feathery jerk. Come on, Sonny. We're pals, right? Help me out. Be a good little stool pigeon. Your feathers are looking so lovely this year.
Good little stool pigeon. I'm a macaw genius. And I heard what you said about my molting problem last winter. No deal. By the way, rumor is you drool in your sleep.
Charming didn't work. Should have known. Sonny's got an ego the size of my vet bills. Fine. Here. One cracker. Maybe a Slim Jim if you cooperate.
One cracker? Insulting. I want 2 crackers, a grape, and 5 minutes of belly scritches. Then I'll sing like Sinatra.
Just tell us, you bufflehead!
I might have seen someone leaving the house with them, or maybe I dreamed it. Give me the grape, dirt nose.
Typical. Pay him off and he gives half a clue. We need more to go on. Fine, Birdie. That's the way you're going to play it. I didn't want to resort to this, but all right. Izzy, do your thing.
Easy, muscle. I'm delicate. Okay. I saw Seamus, that big shaggy mutt. He dragged something out of the kitchen, ate something, and stashed it in the backyard. Happy now?
Very good, Parrot. Stand down, Izzy.
Good parrot, my tail feathers. Next time, bring me a peanut, cheapo.
One more suspect, one more clue. Sonny didn't crack easy, but Izzy cracked him faster than an egg in a frying pan. Next stop, Seamus. And if he's buried the loot, it's time to dig up some dirt. Literally.
I told you so. I told you my human boy didn't steal my meat sticks. And I told you that if Bandit didn't steal them, Seamus did. But no. Detective Steve knows everything, right?
There's nothing worse than being outsnarked by a cat. Except maybe suspecting that your own species, man's best friend, the noble dog, could betray the sacred bond of meat stick loyalty. But I'm a detective, and a detective must follow the trail, no matter how humiliating. As the great Holmes once said, or should have said if he'd had half my nose, when you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must smell faintly of meat sticks. Which brings us to Seamus. Big, shaggy, sofa hog Seamus. Sitting there pretending to nap, but I knew the truth was curled up somewhere under that fur. All right, Fuzzbutt, let's do this the easy way. Confess and have it over with.
I didn't do nothing. I'm innocent. Now go away, Steve. You're blocking my nap sunlight.
Nice try, Seamus. But first of all, it's nighttime. Second of all, you can't lie to the nose. Time for forensics, Detective Steve style. There it was. Dirt. Clumped under the claws. Classic backyard digger signature. But by itself, it meant nothing. Faint whiff of savory meat stick residue. Busted. But wait, they could be pepperonis and not the cat's meat sticks. I have to make sure. A note of anxiety, betrayal, and yesterday's breakfast. Gross, but necessary. Detective work isn't glamorous, but the butt never lies. It can tell a dog where you've been and where you're going. It's the telltale butthole. J'accuse, Seamus. You took the sticks? You slobbered them, you buried them. Fess up.
Okay, I did it. I ate a couple. They were delicious. I buried the rest out back for later. But, funny thing.
What funny thing?
I might have kinda, sorta, forgot where I buried them.
Great, just great. Case cracked, meat sticks vanished into a labyrinth of backyard holes. I was ready to close the file, unsolved, unsatisfied, when my muscle-bound sister perked up. What? Absolutely not. I'm not letting that four-legged brain donor... She was right. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So I gave Izzy the nod to go fetch him, and a few minutes later, I heard the unmistakable howl barreling toward the yard.
Hi. I'm here. Hello.
Henry? Are you wearing a bow tie and a necktie?
Yeah, I want to look super professional.
Lord help us.
What can I do?
We're looking for some meat sticks buried somewhere in this yard. The kid went right to work, crisscrossing the yard with his nose to the ground in mere seconds.
I found him.
The kid did it. I had to hand it to him. His nose was something else. Izzy, maybe I misjudged the kid. Maybe he's not so bad after all. What? Henry? No! It was like it was in slow motion. In one enormous gulp, Henry swallowed all of the damn meat sticks. Case closed. Meat sticks recovered, then instantly devoured. I suppose you could call that justice, Detective Steve style. Which means nobody's happy, everyone's hungry, and the cat is still judging me. But that's life. So what do we learn? Well, for one thing, if you want something done right, don't trust a cat, a parrot, a gerbil, a couch potato, or a coonhound with the attention span of a squeaky donut. Trust yourself. Or better yet, trust Izzy. Also, never bury your snacks. You'll forget where you put them, or your idiot brother will find them first. Eat them when you get them. That's the real moral of the story. Another lesson: humans wrap perfectly good meat sticks in sad plastic tubes and call it gourmet. Never trust humans with anything important. Not your treats, not your secrets, not your detective agency rent money. Well, they do give good belly rubs. I'll give them that. And finally, when all else fails, take a nap. Because honestly, most problems look smaller after a nap. Except Henry. He looks exactly the same. Dumb, but reliable in a pinch. Case closed. Meat sticks lost, then found, then lost again to a bottomless hound. Another day in the life of Detective Steve. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an urgent nap to attend to.